Gustavo had a sledgehammer thrown over his shoulder. As far as Zan knew, he hadn't even asked what it was for.
"Where would you like to do this?" George asked.
"In the council chamber," Zan said. It was the biggest of the rooms beneath the opera house, and Zan didn't want to worry about taking out a wall or hitting someone with the hammer.
"Are you sure about this?"
Ellie asked as they all descended the narrow, curved staircase. "Are you?" Zan asked. Ellie was quiet for a moment.
"If we destroy it," she said in his mind, "then no one can ever use it again."
Exactly. Zan wanted to ensure that no unskilled person ever paid the cost for another's powers again.
It means this thing, whatever we are, can't be repeated.
That was true. In Salzburg, Ellie had begun to be able to use Zan's skills, so long as there was a mind link open between them and he was willing to let her use them. It was a useful bond. But it was too much of a risk. Even if more people with latent powers could use them, they could still be easily controlled, dominated, enslaved. Better that the powers cease to exist, that no one else would have to die for it. Zan strode into the council chambers, carrying the chalice with him. He marched across the smooth floor to the very center of the room, ringed by colorfully tiled columns and the ornate wooden desks where the council members would sit. Zan set the chalice down on the floor and then took the sledgehammer from Gustavo. The others moved back against the wall. Zan's grip tightened on the sledgehammer. He could use skills to smash the stone, but he could still feel the ghost of his fever from earlier. And besides, he wanted to do this with his hands. "Ellie," he said, "can you see the chalice in the rock?" He'd seen it in her memory before. A skull encased in stone. The top sheared off to create the look of a cup with a bone for its stem.
"Yes, it's there."
"Tell me when it's gone," he said. Then he raised the hammer over his head and brought it down on the rock with all his might. The hammer connected with a satisfying clunk, and bits of rock flew in all directions. A largest piece landed beneath Lorenzo Conti's desk. Lorenzo wouldn't be returning to it. He died in the mines in Salzburg. Another life lost protecting this damn stone.
"It's more toward the center,"
Ellie said. Zan raised the hammer again and brought it down. More debris scattered, and one small chunk hit Zan in the forehead. He wiped his head with the back of his arm, but didn't see any blood. His arms were tiring already. He wasn't used to his muscles doing the work. "Now?" Zan asked.
"You hit it, but it only damaged the stone around it."
This time Zan used a kinetic push to bring the hammer down extra hard. He lifted it again, striking the rock with blow after blow. The floor was covered in gravel now, the stone whittled down to a much smaller piece. "Now?" he asked. He could feel the answer in her mind before she spoke.
"It's still there, Zan. You aren't damaging the chalice at all."
Damn it! He could see what she meant. The rock was falling apart. It had been damaged previously by the tools De Luca had used to remove it from the sarcophagus. That made it easier to break into pieces, but what emerged was a vaguely chalice-shaped piece of stone, as if the thing was stronger where the magic was bound to the rock. Zan raised the hammer again, slamming it down on the stem of the cup. He didn't need to ask where the chalice was anymore. There was little else left. Zan pummeled it with all his rage at what happened to Rocco, his anger at Mila for killing an innocent person, his fury at De Luca for taking the chalice, and most of all, his wrath for himself for allowing all this to happen in the first place. The stone wouldn't break. Tiny pieces skittered off, but the main bulk of the chalice remained. The muscles in Zan's arms screamed at him, and he threw the hammer on the floor where it skidded and slammed against the leg of his desk, chipping the wood. He swore, and the sound echoed in the large chamber. He grabbed the rock with kinetics, throwing it at the ceiling, bashing it into the tile. He wrapped ropes of energy around it and slammed it back to the floor. The thing remained whole. Zan threw it at one wall and then another. His body grew hot with fever, and he could feel Ellie's temperature rising as well. At least, when he and Ellie were sharing power, the cost was much less than when either of them took it alone. Zan still hated doing this to her. He hated everything the chalice represented.